You asked me the other day, and I do kind of want to share this story. I don't know why. I'll probably cry. It's fine.
About what broke your heart?
Yeah. But just as you were kind of talking about like the stacking bodies and things like that, or like saying that to people, I don't think I've ever actually said this to anybody, but my big moment that I always kind of go back to that every time somebody's like, "Oh, isn't that serious?"
Mhm.
Like I always kind of want to ask people, like, have you ever held a patient's hand as we were literally withdrawing care on them or pulling that BiPAP mask off that they are literally dependent on to live and just held their hand and just prayed that they went quickly? Because that for me was probably one of the hardest moments of my career. And probably, sorry, I told you I was going to cry.
No, it's okay.
Better edit this out. Better edit the camera out.
It's okay.
Better be on you the whole
It's
time. But no, like legitimately, like, cause that is what happened at one point, and I think that is really what drove a lot of anger in me, if I'm being honest. Like this really, really sad moment, and there were so many sad moments, but that one really sticks out. Like, I mean, I literally held a man's hand. I mean, I think in the middle of COVID, I mean, we've talked about faith a little bit. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know if you want to talk about it
Yeah,
here,
you're
but
good.
like, I kind of, I think, struggled with my faith the most during COVID for obvious reasons. But literally just sitting there and begging God to take somebody quickly so he didn't suffer. And I will say that prayer was answered, and I am thankful for that every day. But like that is something like I've never thought I would ever have to do
Mhm.
that. And so I think for me that was a very uh, core memory of COVID for me. And
Yeah.
so, but I mean that's what we were dealing with, and I
Mhm.
mean that I would argue that that probably was not abnormal for all of us.
Mhm.
Just because we watched people suffer. And I mean, I've told Brian before, and Brian will disagree with me on this. But I've said, like, we are not made to see those kinds of things. Like,
No.
we are not. And he'll be like, well, I mean, we fought in
Not
wars for thousands of years,
not to
but
that extent,
yeah.
and that's what like, the thing that I think that bothered me at first was it's like watching somebody drown for
Mm,
weeks, right? And what you're saying, I'm like, I remember saying, "Please die fast, please die
yeah.
fast, please die fast." You know, I and just because I don't want you to suffer
Yeah.
anymore, and I think that was the point, like, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but I'm sure you're familiar with, like, moral injury. It's just the idea of, like, you're doing things that, either whether you're ordered to do it or it's part of your job or whatever, but it goes antithetical to, like, what your internal value is,
Yeah.
and it's
Okay.
like it's used a lot in reference to war,
Mhm.
but, you know, in in healthcare, right, we wanna make people better, and we we knew the score pretty early on, and there was nothing anyone could do about it.
Yeah.
And the toll of that, while I think it's affected everybody differently for sure to different levels, because we've all seen those people who like just burned out like badly. And that is not like a blame statement. That's an expected response
Yeah.
to us to what you would think would happen. But like I remember when we were pretty well out of it, we'd get a stray COVID every now and
Right.
then once like the tower was essentially closed and stuff. And I was at home alone. I don't know that we had gotten married yet. I know we didn't have kids. And we were in our old house and I was home alone and I was like scooting through like Amazon Prime and like I don't have any, well, I do now, but I didn't have any family who lived here. And, you, I don't know about you and your family, but we still, kind of acted like it was COVID for a long time. Like we don't go anywhere unless we have to, blah, blah, blah. And there was a documentary on Amazon Prime and I was like, huh. And it was about COVID. And I was like, oh, interesting. And I went to watch the trailer and I remember it got to the scene where they're in like what their equivalent of their dining room is, and it was like I was there
Yeah.
again, and I just started like sobbing.
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" And I was like, "What was that? What was that?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, holy moly! And I still get a pang every now and then.
The pit for me did that.
Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking because Devin kept being like, "You wanna watch this? You wanna watch this? You
Hmm.
wanna watch this?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's a medical show."
Right.
And then we watched it and it was so good. And then we got to that scene where like their ER was converted to their COVID unit. And I just immediately, and I mean, it's the end of the episode, and I literally just start sobbing.
Yeah.
And Devin's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, I will be, please don't touch me. Like,
Yeah.
because he wanted to comfort me, but at the same
Mhm.
time, that, like, very much brought me back. Like, seeing them in the bunny suits, which ours look different, but
Yes.
at the same time, hearing the sounds of the BiPAP, seeing them rushing around in bunny suits, like, it just brought back